TPS reports. We're here. We're live. First time ever with 4 people, a 4-way dance. I'm loving it here. I actually have 3 friends that want to join me, so this is incredible. Obviously, I'm Justin. Next to me up here, we have Chris Clark. Down below, we got Corey Sykes and Brandon Mullis. Chris, you were at the tournament all day with me. How you doing, buddy?
I'm still recuperating. Very fun. It's my first time staying that late, so it was a little bit, foreign for me. But I had a great time, watched some great pool, some great battles. We'll talk about those, but it was all worth it in the end.
Awesome. I love it. Corey, how are you, man? You came in, commentated a little bit, so I really appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, I showed up a little late. I don't know what time I got there. I think it was like 9 or 10. But well into the tournament, towards like the hot seat match and the last like 5 or 6 players, I got to see the best pool of the day. All the best players were still remaining, and I got to commentate a little bit and see the action go down. So it was cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Always. You're invited every time. And then Brandon Mullis back again. Brandon, you got to watch from home. How was it, man? Did you? How did it look? How did the stream look? Were you excited to be watching?
I love that venue. I really want to go there because I'm sure it looks as good in person as it does on camera. I watched as much as I could while at work, and then when I got done, I came home and tuned in when I could, and had some obligations to tend to. But I did catch the finals, which was a great finals. And,
yes.
All around, anytime you're a brass tap, it just, all your tournaments there are great. So another good one.
Absolutely. It is a great place. And as you can see, I got a little ticker on the screen now telling anybody what we're talking about. Points event number 14, $1,000 added non-ball at brass tap and billiards. Let me go ahead and thank our sponsors here really quick before we get much further, because definitely not possible without them. Deadstroke Media. Obviously, I always appreciate Pat. Portico, licensed general contractors. Corey, it's a big-time supporter. Pool Doctors, definitely, go ahead and get your pool ready for next year as this summer is kind of coming to a close. The Roundabout Grill, me and Chris, we ate some breakfast there on the way up, so Chris can tell you how great it is. TKO Custom Cues, Kirk Overcash makes one of the best cues around. Fast Action Billiards, we'll be there in a little less than a month. Inkwell Design with another spectacular trophy that somebody got to take home to add to their collection. Barry McDonald at Ameris Bank. He's a mortgage banker. Y'all give him a call if you need anything done. And then Supreme Q, Sean Brodowski. Sean, we appreciate you. He makes that fantastic jump cue. I have one in my bag. And as y'all know, I'm not even a big fan of jumping, so that tells you how good it is. But, yeah, this was a $1,000 added tournament. We didn't quite fill this one up. First time all year we didn't fill it up. Only 29 players. Still paid out a total of $3,640. Let's just go. I'm going to go to Corey first. Corey, I mean, only 29 players, but do you think this field still stands up with, the rest of the fields that we usually have up there?
I think it does, honestly. So you had 29 people out of 32, right? Or you would have been capped.
Yeah.
Looking at the range of skill players, I mean, you had someone in the 300 Fargos sign up, but you had 10 people in the 500s, and then you had a lot of people 600 and plus. So regardless if you were missing, say, BJ or Guama or some of the other like really, really high-rated folks, still a pretty stacked field that came through and rally. So overall, yeah, I would say pretty strong.
Yeah, I think it was. I actually low-key think this was a super strong field. Chris, what do you think, man? You were there all day front and center. Like, there were some really strong players. We got to see some great matches.
Yeah, it was really great matches. I'm kind of glad it was only 29 people because we might still be playing if it was 32. But no, it was a great, we had some tough draws. A couple people had some tough draws starting out, some of the lower ranks. But we also had a big upset in the beginning with Mike Davis losing his first round, and so going the distance. So there's a lot of little micro stories that we could talk about going through. But all in all, I think there was some amazing pool, especially on the stream. So yeah, we had a lot of good content for the viewers. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brandon, when you got to see the bracket pop up on Saturday afternoon, just what were you thinking? Like, how were you thinking this tournament was going to play out?
Well, immediately my first thought was, is this actually going to be a tournament where Mike Davis does not make it into the money? But what was I thinking? Great tournament all around. I mean, like, I love the consistency throughout the bracket. Obviously, it's not one of your stronger ones, but it was one of your more consistent. I mean,
Yes.
you had a lot of people in the 3s and 400s, knocking on the door of the money, and eventually a lot of those people are going to get through. So it was very fun to watch, very interesting, and Mike Davis just was Mike Davis again, and I know we'll get more into that, but man, what a player.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just basically just jump right into it because I do have a lot of notes on Mike Davis's victory as he wins another pool series. I believe that's his 8th win of the year, so 8 out of 14 now he has won. It's the first time ever that he lost first round in a pool series event and came through and won the tournament. It's also the first tournament that he's won at Brass Tap. I believe this is the 4th time he's played there in one of our events. First time he's won there. It's also now back-to-back tournaments where he has double dipped a guy in the finals to win. So he has not gone through the winner side and win the finals. He's had to double dip. So I think all 3 of those notes are pretty crazy. And the fact that all 3 kind of happened in the same tournament, I'm really starting to think. And then Chris says that Mike played over 10 hours of pool during the tournament, time-wise. I just don't know if Mike can be beat. Chris, yeah, just let's jump to you first, man. I mean, how impressed are you with this Mike Davis win? I think, me personally, I think this might be his most impressive pool series victory.
I'm getting more into watching the streams and paying attention, whereas admittedly I had not before. And every time I watch his matches, I'm just, more and more of a fan for one, and just taken back by some of the execution and the way he grinds it out. And it's no wonder he's able to find his way after a first round loss and get through 10 more matches, undefeated, and really grind it out the hardest way you can, and until 5:30 the next morning. I mean, that's just a testament to how strong and how crazy good he is. And I mean, I'm a believer for sure.
Corey, coming from the only person on this show right now that has beaten Mike in an open event, I mean, just what are your thoughts on Mike? Yes, one of those. Yeah, that trophy proves that you beat him. Sorry, Mike. Sorry that we had to point that out. But no, Corey, I mean, just how are you impressed that Mike continues to win, and how just impressed are you that he won this tournament after losing the first round?
You know what? I think if it was a handicap tournament, I might have been a bit more questionable on if he's going to make the money or win it or not. I still felt like he was going to finish pretty high. I mean, looking at the players, right? Like Mike was by far the highest rated player in the tournament.
Yes.
You would expect him to come through, but as is with anything, if you're playing for a long amount, long periods of time, you might face exhaustion.
Yep.
But I didn't see any signs of exhaustion from him. I mean, he was playing great every match that I saw. Even when he was on the side table, I'd kind of peek over, and he's literally never missing. So, Mike being Mike, I might put him in the same conversation as Scotty Scheffler, Tiger Woods here. In the same regards, he's got more wins than Scotty Scheffler this season. So, he's kind of crushing it.
Yeah, I think. My comparison. I like to compare him to the Golden State Warriors the year that they went 73-9, where it was just they were just winning every which way they could. Even if you thought that they were going to lose, they'd find a way to win. He only had 3. He lost a match, and then he plays 10 more rounds to win this tournament. Only 3 times did he lose a set. Julia Bright beat him a set. Jason Rogers beat him a set. And then Josh Padron obviously beats him a set in the last match of the day. Brandon, I mean, what were you thinking as you were at home looking at the bracket? Were you just here comes Mike? Here he comes. It's only a matter of time before he's in the finals.
That thought about him not making the money was very brief, because I have the same feeling about him that I have about BJ Guama, the guy next to me on this podcast. I have to actually see them lose to believe it, because the mental game is so much greater at that point when you do it day in, day out, day in, day out. It's like y'all said, he went to another tournament the very next day. I mean, normal people don't do that. And that is up here. And he has it better than I feel like anybody on your tour.
I think on Sunday I slept for 18 hours. So that tells you how much different me and Mike are, because he also told me he had a lesson at 1 o'clock that day. So he was back at the pool hall at 1 o'clock, and he probably stayed all the way till that next tournament was over. Yeah, right.
I mean, Moscone Mike.
Yes, Moscone Mike.
I love it when somebody's good at their job.
Yes. Oh, he is great. He's great at his job. I mean, and he is the only one in this tournament that plays pool for a living. So we will say that as well. Let's move on to our second place person. I think somebody that maybe we all consider to be a friend. Josh Padron with a second place, his highest pool series finish. First time that he's won the hot seat. I really thought it was going to be his day. And honestly, even after the finals, I still feel like he might have played better than anybody in the tournament throughout the whole day. I mean, he was on the stream 5 times, so we had to see him play 5 matches on stream. We had 13 matches total on stream. 5 of them involved him. But I still feel like he played the best. And he lost the first match of the finals. Mike played perfect. But honestly, Josh had chances in the second one. We'll go with Corey first because he knows Josh better than all of us. Just what's your thoughts on that match? Have you talked to Josh since then also? Like, what does he think about it?
I have. It was the first thing I did when I woke up on Sunday morning was I said, let me go check Digital Pool and see what has happened here. I take that back. I loaded the YouTube stream and I just fast forwarded through and saw what had happened. And then I text him, and I know he's pretty disappointed, right? But again, it's his best finish that he's had. For those that don't know Josh, he's been playing for a long time. He's consistently grinded and gotten better and better and better. It's for me, I feel like it's a matter of time until he hits that breakthrough moment. I thought it was going to be this weekend too. We were texting about it leading up to it. And as he was playing in the tournament, I was like, I have to come up here. And I felt super honored to commentate even one of his matches towards the end of it between him and Mike Robertson. I thought it was going to be his night. Unfortunately, not to, anything on the tournament for running late, things happen. There's a lot of matches went longer, stuff like that. I think, exhaustion does kind of set in a little bit if you're playing super, super late at night. So who knows what would have happened if it was 11 p.m., midnight, something like that, a little bit earlier. But regardless, great finish. She'll take the positives away from it and try to come back stronger next time. Hopefully get the W this time.
Absolutely. I think he's one of the 3 or 4 guys I expect to maybe get a trophy before the season's over if he plays a couple more tournaments. Brandon,
once he gets one, he's going to get many.
I think so too. I think it might be one of those situations where if he wins one, then it's, hey, I'm going to get another one really quick. It's not going to be, hey, I get one and then that's it. But he's definitely, I think, in that next. You got Mike and BJ at the top. Probably at most of the tournaments that they play in. But I think Josh is definitely right there with 4 or 5 other players that play in our tournaments where you're like, hey, they could sneak up and win, which, Josh was right there. He literally could have won that second match, I feel like. And as I say, I still think Josh played the best. Mike won the tournament, but I think Josh might have been the best player throughout the whole day. Brandon, what do you think about Josh's tournament, man?
I didn't know Josh could break like that. That was impressive. And I'm sure he will tell you the same thing, Corey. I'm sure all you guys would agree. That is the reason he went as far as he did, the way he did. And it was going to take a player like Mike Davis to beat him that day. If he wasn't there, Josh would have ran through that tournament with the way he broke. That was impressive to watch. I know he's probably sick about getting second. But, hey, second place still pays well, and he should be proud of it because he played great. He has nothing to be ashamed of on how he played. That's for sure.
So, yeah, his break, we put the 2-ball in the back in our 9-ball events. That's one of the rules. And he made that 2-ball almost every time. Chris, we're sitting there. We're watching this. We watched it 5 times on stream. How awesome was that to watch him break? I was looking forward to it every time. I was like, okay, here comes a break and run.
Yeah, you did that one time. You said, do you think it'd break? And I said, no. And then he broke. And I was like, never mind on that. Because it was it was like a parting of the Red Sea. Everything was just right there. And so he was playing phenomenal. I mean, and the break was a big part of it. I agree. Watching that all day, I think that was a big contributor to it. I did have a similar thought as Corey, as like, if the match had, if the tournament had not gone so late, would this have been a different tournament at the end? I don't know. But all I know is that, I do think both players started to show little kinks in the armor, but Mike was able to kind of address it a little bit better at the end there. But yeah, I mean, he played amazing. I knew he played amazing. He beat the wheels off of me the first time I played him at Brass Tap. And, so I think I fully expect him to get a trophy or two or three within the next few events. So, yeah, I was very impressed with how he played. His demeanor was really, I think tempo-wise, he was kind of like, fast and slow. And sometimes I think maybe that is something, maybe if you can rein in and get that a little bit more consistent, maybe that'll help him out a little bit. But, because there were some matches that he played really slow, some matches that he played pretty quick, maybe too quick in some regards. So I don't know. That's just an observation that I had throughout the tournament, especially towards the end. But I fully expect he's going to get that taken care of and mentally prepare himself for the next one and bring some fire.
I definitely liked his tempo. I think he was going a little bit quicker in this tournament than he did in the previous tournament that we saw him at. And I kind of liked it. I think he plays a little better when he plays a tiny bit faster than he normally does. Corey, let's talk about his break, man. Like, obviously, I mean, I think you're the top-notch player here out of the four of us. So tell us, like, what is it like? Is there a certain, like, how was he making that 2-ball every time? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's, like, do you know, like, I mean, do you practice it?
I mean, I know some things, but I don't know the things that Josh knows, which is why I wish he was going to join us tonight. Maybe we can have a separate session with him. Maybe on the next podcast, I'll swing by and give some insights. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's plenty of ways to learn how to rack the balls and not giving yourself an edge, but like after it's racked, like you can see different, gaps inside there and kind of figure out which side of the table you should break from and stuff like that. One of Josh's strong suits has always been the break. I said it on stream, and I'm glad you noticed that, Brent, because it's like he's very, very strong in the break department. It's actually unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know the specifics to it, but I know he's a very good breaker, and it was very clear to see it this weekend. So,
yeah, he was breaking phenomenally. Let's move on to the third place finisher here. Back-to-back tournaments that this guy's finished third place. That's Michael Robertson. So 2 times now in a row that he's finished third place. Basically both times in August. So August will be considered third place finish month for Michael Robertson. I do want to make a quick note here with the point standings, by the way. Michael Robertson's now up to 12th place. Josh Padron is up to 7th place. Jazz McConney's up to 5th place. Top 4 stay the same. Mike Davis, BJ Usser, Renal Bott, Hank Powell. Chris Clark, you're in the top 10 now. You're up to 10th place. I think we might have a little bit of a battle here for at least for third place between Hank, Josh Heater, Jazz, and Josh Padron if Josh comes and plays a couple more times. And honestly, Michael signed up for one of our upcoming tournaments as well. If he cashes again, you're talking about maybe he starts moving up there. So maybe the points get a little interesting. But let's talk about Michael's third place finish. We'll start off with you, Chris. What did you think about Michael's finish? He had a first-round bye. He was one of the 3 lucky ones that got a first-round bye. So we didn't quite see as much of him as we did some of the other players. But what do you think about Michael Robertson getting third once again?
Just coming off of his place in the 8-ball tournament before, I knew that he was a contender. I had never really watched him play until this tournament, honestly. And yeah, he was, impressing the hell out of me. And so I can't wait to see him play some more matches, some more and pay attention to his game because he's definitely earned that spot where he's at in the point standings. And so I'll definitely be paying more attention to him from now on.
Absolutely. Definitely pay attention to him. I feel like maybe he doesn't get enough. I feel like enough people don't pay attention to him because he doesn't come out and play that much, or at least in the bigger events, it seems like. Brandon, what do you think about Michael Robertson?
Guy's consistent. He's a good player. Kind of like Chris. I didn't really know much about him until I watched this tournament. But, better players can correct me if they're wrong. Sometimes I feel like the bye is a disadvantage because it's a good way to get cold and not, and get out of stroke after a good practice session. I always like to get right into the tournament. So the fact that he could, basically take a break at the beginning and still maintain his focus and everything all the way down to the end, to me, is impressive. So
I
no,
agree.
he had a great tournament. He's a great player, and you're going to see many, many, many more catches out of him.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. He's actually cashed all 4 times that he's played this year, so he's 4 out of 4 on cashing. And Corey, what do you think about Michael? You think if he played anybody other than Mike Davis, that's twice in a row now he's gotten third. That's twice in a row he's lost to Mike.
I think Mike
in the third place
Robertson
match.
could have won the tournament. I mean, contrary to
Yeah.
you guys, I've known Mike for a long time. Same with Josh. Last time I watched Mike play, I mentioned this on the stream. He beat Roberto Gomez at the Beasley Open to get into the last 16. So he finished in the money, 9th at the Beasley Open this year. He doesn't come out and play open events too often, but I'll tell you what, he's a grinder. He's dedicated when he wants to be. I think I'd also mentioned he's ran a 5K every day for the past 5 years almost. So if that's not a sign of dedication, I don't know what is. And I will make one comment here in case he watches this. The comment that I have is the same thing that I told him, which was if you're going to dedicate your time to something, dedicate it to the break, because I think that is what actually held him back from beating Josh, from possibly beating Mike. His break kind of failed him. Every time he racked and broke, the balls came out dead, didn't have a shot, things like that. But even with that happening, he had 4 balls on the table with a straight in 5 ball to beat Josh Hill in the third set to make it to the final. Happened to miss that ball, and that kind of sealed the deal in terms of maybe motivation, or because as soon as he lost it, like right back into it with Mike Davis, and I think maybe that kept his head a little bit under where it should have been. So, but otherwise, he's a fantastic player. Would not surprise me if he wins one of these coming up soon if he's playing again.
Yeah, I think he can win one of these too. And you're probably right. I think maybe after losing to Josh the way that he did, and then seeing Mike Davis, because like I said, it's 2 straight tournaments now that he's lost to Mike in the semifinal match. So mentally, that's got to be like, man, not this guy again. But yeah, you're right though. If Mike breaks like Josh was, Mike might run away with this tournament. Honestly, like
No doubt.
I mean, it was the break definitely held him back. I will say this, and Chris, you were sitting there, with me as well, and Corey also. I think this was one of my favorite hot seat matches because it was 2 guys that hadn't played for a hot seat before, Josh Padron and Michael Robertson. And I think the match was very well played, which y'all can go check that out on our YouTube channel. It's up on the pool series. I think it was just a great match, and it goes Hill third set. I mean, Chris, what did you think about, like, how entertaining was that match?
I mean, we can't get any better than that, right? I mean, and for them to be playing at that caliber just shows that they're ready to win one of these tournaments, to go the distance and in a hot seat match, which brings some pressure all of us, in itself. So I totally expect we'll see more of both of those guys, like we've been saying, the rest of these tournaments.
Absolutely. We'll be seeing a lot of those guys. And another guy that we'll be seeing a lot of is our 4th place finisher, who has now cashed 5 out of 6 times this year, and that's Jazz McConney. Another, coming up a little short of the finals once again, but this kid still keeps impressing me every time. I almost feel like he gets better and better. Started the year off getting a 2nd place finish at Brass Tap. Now here we are in August. He's still in the top 4. Jazz, great player, great young kid, fantastic attitude towards the game. Corey, what do you think about Jazz McConney?
I think I would just echo the things you just said. He's a great player, but he's actually like a great young man at this point as well. I saw him even call a foul on himself in one of his matches when it was Hill, I think, which I think just speaks volumes to him and also to his parents too for raising him to be such a good young kid. His pool game is amazing, and I think he's still very young. He's 16, maybe 17. Yep. He's got Power World in front of him. Has the place to practice if he wants to, for sure. So I expect we will see him continue to grow. Won't surprise me if he starts winning as much as Mike Davis here in the future if he keeps at it. Sky's the limit for somebody like that.
Yeah, you're right. He did call a foul on him. So I think that was against Tristan Kotke. I think he called a foul on him. I think that was that Hill's second set? I think when he called a foul on himself, if I believe
Think so.
correctly. Yeah. And that just, I mean, to me, that says something about it. Like, he immediately called it. He didn't wait for Tristan to say anything. He just immediately was like, hey, that, no rail. That's ball in hand. So always applaud pool players when they do that. It is something that we should all do, but sadly, a lot of players won't do that. Some would even argue against it. So, Brandon, what do you think about Jazz, and how big of a fan are you?
Kid has got a lot of Q power at a young age. There is his potential is honestly limitless. I mean, I really do believe that. He has the type of game, the type of stroke that if he keeps practicing, keeps playing in big events, get the experience, we could be talking about him, throughout the country and maybe even throughout the world one day if he keeps it up. So I mean, huge potential. He's got a lot of support in his family from what I know. Like I said, I really don't know the kid. However, it's going to be fun to watch his journey. I really feel like
it's going to be a lot of fun. Chris, any thoughts on Jazz?
Oh, absolutely. To be that young and be that good already, I think all of us 40-plus guys need to be afraid of what the next 20 years bring to us as we play into our dying days. Because if he shows up at the tournament, we all got a lot to be fearful of, especially if he's playing this good this early, right? So again, like every time I've had interacted with him, very polite, very mannered, has a lot of manners. Just a nice guy all around. I remember the first time I met him was when I just went to a break time tournament, and he made it a point to come over and tell me, he was like, you shoot good. And he was like, this is when he was really young. I mean, he was like short, and this was like 3 or 4 years ago. So I don't even know how old he would, but anyways, so yeah, I think the sky's the limit, as Brandon said, and he's going to do great things. He's already done great things. And one thing I'll say about him is, he's one of the only younger guys taking advantage of these tournaments where he's playing, these older generation that can teach him a lot, and he can learn a lot from. These junior tournaments and stuff, they're great and all, but I think these are the tournaments you want to be in if you're trying to be an up and comer and you really want to establish yourself with a better game. I think this is just going to be, the fact that he's showing up to these tournaments more and more regularly, I think is only going to help him and really help him grow.
That's a good point about the juniors, because he is like our most consistent junior player. Corey, did you play juniors? I know you played in the college pool, but did you play any of the juniors?
No, I didn't. I didn't start playing pool until I really got to college. So
gotcha.
If
Okay,
only.
so none of us. Yeah, I didn't even know. Didn't even know that juniors was a thing when I was.
I didn't either.
Yeah. So now it's really out there. Yeah, it's really out there now, and I love it. Let's move on to 5th and 6th place here. We got Jason Rogers. Only played twice this year. Has cashed both times. And Steve Page, once again in the money. I think he's cashed 2 out of 3 times this year. So 2 guys that I think are really good players, and 2 guys that I wish would come out and play more, because I think that they would be in the money a lot, actually. I think Steve plays phenomenal. He beats Mike Davis first round. I thought maybe this would be Steve's tournament to win. But sadly, he runs into Jazz twice and loses to Jazz both times. So Steve only loses to 1 player. And Jason, yeah, another cash. So Brandon, what do you think about Jason and Steve?
Congrats to Steve on what he did to Mike, but I've learned this, like I said, I don't play at the level of you guys. However, I know what it's like to have a big win and stay focused on that win all day to where you end up forgetting to play the next matches. Now, that wasn't the case in the beginning. He played well, but at the same time, there was a big part of the day where, I saw him definitely getting tired against Jazz and missing some easy shots. And, they both had great tournaments. I don't really know Jason Rogers that well. I didn't really get to see him play much, But I mean, I did see him play in other events, and he's a strong player. Not surprised they landed where they landed.
Yeah, they're both really good players. Like I said, I wish that both of them would come out and play more. Chris, what did you think about Jason and Steve as we were sitting there all day watching these guys play a few times?
Well, for Steve to kick off with a win against Mike Davis, I think makes a statement on itself. Jason Rogers, I don't know much about him, to be honest. I do know, that he played well throughout the day to get where he did. So, that's, with a tough field like that, I can only imagine he's hell to pay on as a competitor. So.
For sure. Absolutely. Corey, you know both these guys a lot better than all of us. So go ahead and give us your insight. Go ahead and give us your insight.
I'll rattle some stats off for you guys as well. So Jason Rogers this year finished high at the U.S. Amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
Also finished tied for ninth at the Beasley this year. Made it all the way through to the single limb round. Okay, so played great. Then a couple weeks ago, followed up with third place finish in the Masters APA. So almost won that title. Jason can jam. He can play. He's tortured me several times. He can play fantastic. But as we're all amateurs, you can get a little streaky here or there. So just happened to not be his day, but again, would not have surprised me if he went all the way. He's a fantastic player. Same with Steve. Steve's a streaky player. Obviously, he beat Mike. I've seen him beat Shane Wolford. I've seen him beat a bunch of other guys at Brass Tap. He tends to stay localized at Brass Tap, though. I haven't really seen him travel around too much outside of it. Or outside of the Raleigh area, I should say. But he's a great player. He's streaky at times, just like the rest of us. So it doesn't surprise me, to Brandon's point, where he finished. Wouldn't have surprised me if he won it either. So seems like it could have been anybody's day on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those were two guys that definitely does not shock me that's in the money. Let's turn our attention to the 7th, 8th place finishers because they're in the money as well. And as Corey noted during the tournament, we did pay out more than 25% of the field. So if you come to the pool series, you got pretty good odds of making the money, I would say, as we pay out more spots than maybe some other tournaments do. But yeah, 7th, 8th place finishers. Thomas Sansone cashing once again. He cashed one other time that we were at Brass Tap earlier this year, and he's cashed a few other times throughout the year. And Paul Laverdier, maybe I mispronounced his name. I'm not sure. But Paul, great player. Good to see him come back and play again. Good to see him cash for the first time. Corey, what do you think about Thomas and Paul?
I played Thomas a couple of times. Every time he's played pretty great against me as well. So I know he can play fantastic. Paul, I've only played once or twice. But I tell you what, the older I get, the more respect I have for some of the older generation coming out and whooping up on anyone. Juniors, younger age folks. But Paul's pretty older. I don't know his exact age. If I had to guess, in his 50s, maybe early 60s. Plays pretty good. So to see him finish where he did is pretty awesome. But both players are really good, though.
Paul plays really good. And as Fargo, I have it at 658, or at least that's what it was during the tournament. The way he talks, though, you would think that his Fargo is like a 500 because every time I talk to him, he just talks about how all these other players in the tournament are great. And he's like, man, I just hope I can contend. And the way he says it, he's just like super nice about it. I'm like, bro, I look down and see a 658. I'm like, dude, like, what are you like? You're a great player also. Like, I don't understand. Like, talk yourself up a little bit here. Jeez.
The reverse psychology.
Big time. 100%. 100%. Chris, what do you think about Thomas and Paul cashing in our tournament?
Well, I watched Paul play a little bit, and I was impressed. I thought he played good. Yep. Really strong game. Didn't see him make too many mistakes. When he played on the streaming match, he played really well. And Thomas, I played several times in some local tournaments. Go back and forth with him, and I know what he's capable of. When he's firing on all cylinders, I mean, it's there's a lot to fear there when he's going strong. And so, yeah, I think both of them played very well. I did get to watch both of them slightly throughout the day. So, yeah, I'm proud of both of those guys.
Yeah, Thomas plays a lot here in the Charlotte area, so we do get to play him a lot. And I have seen him hit a gear where he easily could be considered like top 3 or 4 in this tournament. So he's no slouch for sure. Brandon, what's your thoughts on our 7th and 8th place finishers?
That is the exact point that I was just about to make about Thomas. You know, he does have a very high gear when he gets going. I don't know much about. He said Paul Laverdiere or Laverdiere.
Laverdiere.
Laverdiere, gotcha. I think I got it right. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he had to play well. You know, especially in that group of killers. You know, one thing I love about the top 8 kind of goes back to a few points that Corey made. Is you almost feel like any one of these guys could have won this tournament if they had 1 or 2 different roles throughout the event. So I mean, that's what made it really exciting for me. Like I said, it was super competitive. You know, everybody really brought their best game, and you know, Thomas, you know, he has proven to be consistent in your tourneys. That's for sure. You know, like I said, he's fun to watch when he really gets in it.
Absolutely. He is a lot of fun. Speaking of guys that could win it, I want to mention some of the people that did not cash in this tournament because I think there's a few people that did not finish in the top 8 that maybe is a little surprising. Chris Turner, great player. He's played only once before this year. He cashed. Didn't quite make it there this tournament. Justin Mayan. Corey, did I pronounce that right? What's Justin's last name?
I think it's Mayan. Yeah.
Okay. The dude, I see him winning or, you know, top 3 in all these big tournaments. Can't quite figure it out with our format, though. This is 3 times he's played. Well, this is 3 times he's played, and the best he's done is 17th place.
I was going to say it might have been just the day of the Justins.
Well,
not
yeah.
finishing too high.
Yeah, we'll talk
another
about
one in there.
Yeah, we'll talk about the other one in a second. And then Diego Guerrero, who's cashed a few times when we've been up there, went 2 and out this time. Very surprising. Corey, I mean, is there any, like, are you surprised that none of those guys cashed, or is there anybody else that we haven't mentioned? I mean, other than the other.
Yeah,
Justin
I was going to mention yourself, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, those are probably the big ones, honestly, that I would call out. I think the one that kind of surprised me the most, like especially looking now at back on the stats and stuff, is on the flip side, someone that almost did cash is Sahil Patel. I was talking to him for quite some time. Fargo's got him at a 369. I was only been playing for a couple of years, but almost made the money. He bubbled out. So I mean, that's like really solid by him, and kudos. I hope he keeps playing and growing his skills.
Yeah, he's another one of those where locally in some of the local tournaments I see him at, he plays fantastic, but maybe, you know, in these bigger tournaments he hasn't quite figured it out yet, but he's going to get there for sure. Only been playing 2 years. Chris, I mean, you were there all day, man. Who shocked you that we didn't see? Who were you expecting to take a photo of that you didn't get to?
You know, Chris Turner was a good call out. I did get a little nervous when he started saying that he was going to annihilate the next person he played after one of his losses, and then I saw the first break and the ball went off the table. I was like, oh, that might not have been a good statement. But no, I expected Chris Turner to do better. I think he did too, if you'd ask him. I think. Yeah, all the people that you mentioned kind of ring out. Sahil, I will say, no chance that guy's in the 300 Fargo range. I don't know where that number is coming from or what. You know, I saw him play. Now, I know he's new and whatnot, but, you know, the guy can make balls. I played some little practice games with him here and there. But which on paper, it would ring out as some of the biggest upsets today with who we beat. But, you know, yeah, so that was impressive that he was able to get almost to the money. If you know, maybe that is his rank and he just had a really good day. I don't know.
No, he's definitely better than that for sure. Brandon, who were you expecting to be top 8?
We've all said it, Chris Turner. I especially thought since the tournament was right in his backyard, I noticed that, you know,
I thought does he live up that way? I
thought he lived near Raleigh. Does he not? Am I wrong?
Man, I thought he was like High Point or something. I don't know.
Oh, you might be right. Either way, well, it's halfway there, kind of.
Yeah.
So either way, no matter the pool room, I always expect a lot out of Chris Turner. That's also another guy with a huge break when he gets it going. Not quite the consistency of Padron, but, you know, I played him in the 30th anniversary at Smoking Q, and he absolutely ran me over. So I do know that he does have a very high gear when he gets going. So yeah, he's gonna be my top choice for that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go on now and talk about the couple people on the show that played in the tournament. We'll start with me. Going 2 and out. Technically, I did win a round. I got a bye on the loser side, so technically I won a round. Finished 17th, but lose to Tristan Kotke and Dan Allers. Corey, since you brought me up first, so we'll let you speak first. Go ahead and tell us how shocked you are that I lost. Probably it's both those are upsets, I feel like. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you're just without words is the only way I could put it, Justin. No,
Yep.
you had an off day, right? I mean, I didn't personally get a chance to see you play, but sometimes you have an off day, and that's totally fine. I would consider both those upsets. Seeing how good you can play, seeing how bad you can play, just like you've seen from me and from everyone else here. So it is what it is. That's why there's another tournament coming up soon.
Exactly. Brandon, go ahead. Speak. Do you got any thoughts on me going 2 and out?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
Unless you're matching up against a guy like Corey, Guama, Padron, any of that whole list of characters, I do not actually expect you to lose. I've been playing with you for years. I know you're a stayer, but Corey also made a great point. It happens to every player, here and there, every once in a while, no matter how good you are. So, I mean, like today in the U.S. Open, that was an example. I didn't expect BJ to lose to Brandon Schuff, but he did. So, I mean, that's just kind of part of the whole thing. Sometimes you make it to the final. Sometimes you go 2 and out. It's all part of it.
That's right. Chris, you were there. Yeah, I think you got to see both my matches. So
I saw enough to know that you were just shooting so uncharacteristically that you just knew that it was just not your day, and it was you weren't shooting up to anywhere near where you usually shoot, and there was a lot going on. We could throw we're brand new setups and things of that nature, and you're trying to run a tournament. Again, we've had this conversation before. That's that can be mentally draining, and I feel like I have a similar story if we're going to end up talking about that, but very uncharacteristic shots from you, and I think couple rolls start going your way, maybe you'd be able to turn it around. It was just a little too late. And so, yeah, understandable. I've been in that situation plenty of times. So so I understand.
Yeah, I'll say both my opponents played well. Dan Allers played really well. Tristan made some really good shots, but all I'm going to say is that I don't think I ever actually looked at one shot the whole day. Like, it was just like, oh, it's my turn. Let me get up there and shoot really quick. Like, I don't think I think that's probably the first time I played pool in a very long time and just really didn't care. Like, I was like, okay, let me go sit back down and do this other stuff that I need to do. But yeah, shout out to those guys though. They both played really well, and Tristan obviously finishing one out of the money, definitely showed how good he can play. And Dan, with another good performance as well. So yeah, shout out to both those guys. I mean, they played great. I definitely don't mind losing to two nice guys, so that always helps. Chris, you also got to play. You also lost to Dan Allers, went to a third set, and then you lost to Pam Perry. I'm going to say this right now. You and Dan are almost the same Fargo, but maybe, according to Fargo, he's 6 points higher. So, maybe he was supposed to win. I don't know. But Pam, that's the best I've ever seen her shoot, was her match with you. That was she shot fantastic in that match, dude.
She played great. I did hang a few nines up, and that was really frustrating. I think there was 3 games that I can think of where I was telling my wife, I've never felt like I played so great and so bad all at one time, if that makes sense. Like, I was getting out all like from everywhere, and then I'd get down to the 9 and foo bar the hell out of it. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Honestly, I didn't leave with like feeling bad for myself because I felt really good with how I was executing on a lot of shots that typically would have given me problems in the past. And it is what it is. And hats off to Pam and hats off to Dan. Dan and I have played against each other in BCA. That was the first time I got to play Pam, and she's impressive. Very strong player. And so, yeah, I was in, and she actually had a few more wins, or one more win, I think, after me.
Yeah,
so I was glad to see that.
She beat you, and then she beat Mike Hall also in 2 sets. So, yeah, shout out to Pam. She played great, and I believe she scratched on the non-ball Hill second set to win a set on Steve Page.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, good for her, man. Corey, what do you think about Chris's tournament?
Be gentle.
I mean, I would have the same comments, man. I mean, hey, sometimes you have a little off weekend. It is what it is, and you just say on to the next one. You try not to keep it hanging on your shoulder for too long. You got a practice table behind you, so easy to beat the aggression out and maybe
right.
fix some things that you messed up on and work for the next tournament. So that's all you can do.
That's right.
That's right. Brandon, you got anything to say to Chris?
Oh, you better believe it. As another high 500 Fargo player, I understand the struggles that you feel on exactly that same thing. So, I mean, it's just, like Corey just said, we're this close. Like, believe it or not, between 550 and 650 is about this far away. It's those small, subtle mistakes that make such a difference. And I got the gold crown outside. You got the diamond behind you. We really don't have that many excuses anymore.
No
Nobody
excuses.
cares.
Focus was a big part of it.
I bet.
And I just need to learn to focus. And, I think we all could maybe, and Justin, I would say probably maybe that was a big thing for you. It was just, you just had, there was a lack of focus there because so many things are going on, and it's tough. So, no, you're right. I mean, there's no excuse, and I'm not beating myself up over it. I'm going to come ready for the next one and see how it goes.
And that's a great segue because you mentioned the next one. The next tournament is a one pocket, $1,000 added at Smoke and Q. It's a race to 2. So it's going to be quick matches, race to 2. I'm going to go ahead and read off a couple of names that are signed up because we do got a full field already. I'm going to read off a couple of names, and we can talk about how great of a tournament this is going to be. We got Rob Leeper, who's gotten second place he's finished second out of like the 4 one-pocket events that were done. He's finished second twice. We got Paul Bailey, another great player from like the beach area. Josh Heater, obviously everybody knows he's a great one-pocket player. You got Mike Davis. He won our last one-pocket event. He's won basically every tournament this year. You got the great white, Hunter White. We all know Hunter. Maybe one of the best one-pocket players in the country. And then, of course, you got Francisco Diaz, who says one-pocket is his best game. So, yeah, that's going to be a pretty fun tournament. Corey, you're going to be the only one out of us that's not going to be there, so I'll get your thoughts first. Are we going to have some must-see matches there? As Brandon just randomly leaves.
Yeah, I mean, from the list you just mentioned, I mean, like, you got to tune in and see. You got to see Hunter play one pocket. I mean, out of the list, personally, I know Mike plays very, very strong one pocket as well. I love watching Hunter play. He just plays the game a little bit different than most people. And he will just wear you down. Like he's just a fantastic one pocket player. And I would also give a shout out to Rob Leeper. I've not played him, but I've seen him finish high in lots of things. I know he's always grinding around and playing and stuff. So that's cool to see someone from another part, up in Virginia in the beach area to come over and play. So that's cool. But yeah, from that list, a lot of good players. I'm sure you'll get a lot of good matches there, either early in the tournament from a crazy bracket draw or towards the end. I'm sure many of these folks will be there for the finish.
Yeah,
so.
That's one great thing about our tournaments as well. It is random draw, so we could be seeing a few of those guys play each other first round. Chris, you're signed up for the tournament. How excited are you to possibly maybe play some of those guys?
Man, I may not, it's definitely not game of choice yet, but I do have a big appreciation for the game of one pocket. And so, yeah, I felt like I played okay in the last one. And so, who knows? We'll see. I think I have an axe to grind after coming out 2-0 with this 9-ball tournament. So hopefully I can, get through a few rounds of this one pocket. If I do, I'll be happy with that. And so, yeah, I'm excited about it. It is one of my favorite games to play. It's just really hard to find people that'll play it with you. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Brandon, you kind of we're talking about the one pocket tournament. We mentioned the big names. You already know the big names. What are you thinking about the tournament here? Let's see. I might have muted him. Sorry. No. Brandon, are you still there?
No, he's frozen.
All right, he froze up. Corey, I'm going to go back to you though for 1 second here because Michael Robertson is signed up for the one pocket event. Do we see another third? Do we see a third place finish for him? I've never seen him play one pocket. I figure maybe we have.
My gut tells me no, but as a friend, I will be rooting for Mike Robertson. So yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible. Somebody that can shoot and make balls, right? With one pocket, it's very it can be hit or miss. If the balls are broken up, somebody makes one, opens the stack a little bit. You can easily run 8 now. So and they are races to 2. That is the format, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, race to 2.
So yeah, if you even if you lose the flip and the opponent breaks and you somehow get an opening, you can basically win the match from there if you play well. So yeah, anything can happen. Short races, good shooters.
It's gonna be a lot of fun for sure. I guess we will mention that we also have an 8-ball tournament coming up as well, September 13th. 8-ball will be our last 8-ball event of the year. It's at Fast Action Billiards in Statesville. We still got spots left for that, about halfway filled up. But I mean, Corey, what do you feel about 8-ball? I don't know if I've ever really seen you play 8-ball.
Yeah. Not a fan of it. I like playing on the bar table actually much more because things are a bit more clustered. And I think that makes it a bit more challenging. 8-ball, I feel like is if you have a good break, if I had Josh Jones break playing 8-ball, you could be a world champion. So yeah, I have a little, I don't know, love hate with 8-ball. For me, it just feels like a little different. So
we do play APA rules though, where it is make it, take it after.
Make what you take. I like that rule. I like that rule a lot.
I do as well. Chris, what do you? Are you looking forward to our last 8-ball event of the year?
My first love. It's my first love. I mean, 8-ball is my first love. So I mean, you can't forget that. And I do like the different strategy with it. If I've seen days where balls aren't breaking so well for everybody, or but I do like to make it, take it. It does add a layer of mystery to things, like Corey said. So. I'm excited for it. I love playing with 8-ball, and you don't see enough of the tournaments around anymore. And so I appreciate mixing it in every once in a while. Obviously, I wouldn't want to play it all the time, being more of a 9-ball player now myself. But I'm excited for any 8-ball tournaments that come up and getting to test those skills out. So, I say I love the fact that you do all formats, and so I think that's a great, unique proposition that Pool Series offers that a lot of tournaments do not. So,
yeah, I mean, I like to play more than one game. I get tired of just always playing. You get so many 9-ball tournaments. To me, it's like, okay, let's play something else. So, and I do love 8-ball. Let's see if Brandon's actually back this time. Brandon, are you there?
I hope so. I think so.
All right.
The
do you want to go ahead and give us
on the charger? That's a problem.
Do you want to go ahead and give us some quick thoughts on the one pocket event coming up?
Yes, they're my favorites event of the year. When you get great players on there, it's nothing but a barrage of highlights. I love that. It's the one that, I actually don't mind being up till 5, 6 in the morning. I may plan for that.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
But at the same time, just, it's hands down my favorite. I love my favorite part about the fact is you have players from Virginia, deep into South Carolina. You might even get some players from Tennessee here eventually. I love how they travel for it. That's for sure. So I always get fired up about it.
Yeah,
I can't play, but
yeah, Yeah, we'll definitely miss you. Corey, you just asked this question earlier when we were at that tournament on Saturday. How many states have we had players from this year? And, you know, if you include some of them, like where they lived, I don't know if they actually live here now, but we're at least at 7 states, 7 different states.
That's fantastic.
Players. Yeah. Plus Francisco Diaz in Europe. So, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's good coverage, especially given since you're mostly hosting in North Carolina, right? So it's good to see other players come in. Yeah, I hope you keep it around North Carolina. Have a lot more
and we're at 188 different players on the year. So
that's awesome.
I think that's my goal was 200 at the start of the year. I thought if we can get to 200 players, that would be incredible. It looks like we might get more than that. So yeah. But guys, this $1,000 added non-ball tournament at Brass Tap, points event 14 on the year. So it was a lot of fun. Let's get our last thoughts. Chris, what's your last thoughts on the tournament?
Well, this tournament was certainly a grind, and I think we saw a lot of tenacity from both players to finish it out early into the morning. I was excited to be a part of it. Excited to see everything from beginning to end, which is not typically what I have done in the past. So it was interesting to see everything that goes into that. So yeah, I'm excited for more of these. I'm excited to participate in more of these and hopefully do a lot better than this one. So yeah.
Brandon, what's your last thoughts here, man?
Mike Davis, you are a beast. Josh Padron, your time is coming, and Jazz McConney, you have a beautiful future. Pretty much in a nutshell.
Right.
He really does. He really does have a great future. Corey, what's your last thoughts
he
on
said
this
it best.
non-ball tournament? Yeah.
I've got nothing else to add. He said it best. Yep.
Perfect. Well, guys, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me here. This has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Y'all make sure to hit like, subscribe on the YouTube channel, hit follow on Facebook, all that jazz. And yeah, let us know if you enjoyed the show. So thank you guys so much. We'll check you later.
Later.